Prince Harry and Meghan Markle recently sat down with Jane Pauley for CBS Sunday this morning, and let's just say things didn't quite go to plan. Rumor has it there was some major drama behind the scenes before, during, and after the interview. In today's video, we're going to break down some of the juicy insider information and discuss what exactly went wrong. Hello viewers. Welcome to Royal Revelations. Please don't forget to subscribe and click the notifications bell so you will get any news about the British royal family. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle sat down with Jane Pauley for the very first joint interview since the salacious Oprah Winfrey interview back in 2021, but there were major tensions and drama even before the camera started rolling. Now, I have to say the insider source has not been 100% verified, so please take that with a grain of salt, and this is for entertainment purposes only. Now, when you're in Hollywood, you're dealing with my people. Contact your people. Everything is done through agencies, managers, producers. Very rarely does the talent actually get involved in negotiations. Everything, as my people will call your people. So for weeks they were planning this interview, back and forth, all of the details. And according to an insider, the executive producers, they need a ratings bonanza, is competing with other TV series for ratings. And what is the highest rating bonanza would have Harry and Meghan sit down for their very first joint interview in 3 years, but adding some footage of Harry and Meghan with their kids. So they wanted to film a B-roll movie showing behind the scenes in their new mansion. Harry and Meghan sitting there with little Archie and little Lilibet with their little iPad scrolling through the dangerous internet. The entire premise of this new program was about protecting your children online. Now Archie and Lilibet are 5 and 3 years old. It's not exactly like they're going to be left alone to this dangerous internet, but again, the executive producers, they're trying to make the show exciting. They're trying to draw it together and make it interesting. What would be more interesting than watching Harry and Meghan behind the scenes with their 2 kids? So according to the insider, it was agreed upon that they would film some B footage of the children. However, at the last minute it got scrapped, and this did not make the executives very happy because again, they want a ratings bonanza. So instead of filming Harry and Meghan behind the scenes at their mono mansion, they settled for that very weird and fake awkward entrance where Harry and Meghan showed up at some weird Monaco mansion in the middle of nowhere, greeting the parents, acting like it was such a surprise. It wasn't. It was very, carefully crafted, orchestrated to where Harry and Meghan, when they hugged, the camera was directly in their face. Again, everything in Hollywood is very carefully crafted. There is no surprises, okay, especially with Harry and Meghan, but according to an insider, there were a couple of surprises. We all know how much Meghan loves the prizes that did not go over very well. Now, one of the very first things was apparently Meghan was under the assumption that the host of the show was going to be Gayle King. Gayle King works for CBS, but she doesn't work for CBS this morning. That's Jane Pauley. She was not a happy camper. Now, every single question is approved by Harry Meghan's team weeks in advance. They tell them basically what they're going to do, but at the end of the day, it's still owned by CBS. This morning, they have full creative control, so during the interview all of the questions were called softball questions. Okay, those are the types of questions. I throw it to you, you hit it back. I throw it to you, you hit it back. It's very easy. There's no salaciousness. It's all very pre-planned. But during the interview, Jane Pauley kind of threw out a little extra comment, a little extra question that was not part of the pre-approved questions, and this not only pissed off Meghan, but it really pissed off Prince Harry. So during the interview, again, you have to make the story make sense. Why are Harry and Meghan even involved in this charity? They don't have teenagers. They didn't lose a child to cyberbullying. Their children are 5 and 3. So why did Harry and Meghan immerse them into cyberbullying? So obviously Jane Pauley had to find something to connect the two. So Meghan and Harry were under the assumption they would talk about Meghan in her cyber bullying that she received, kind of how she talked about in the South by Southwest and Austin. But Jane went a little bit further, a little deeper than they were anticipating. She brought up the whole, quote, living that Meghan was going to do during the Oprah Winfrey interview, and that is what made Harry livid, because Harry was very serious about the charity. He understands a lot of people are starting to criticize them for whining. He wanted it to look a certain way, and immediately the focus went to Meghan. It became the Meghan Markle show, just like everything else. that they do so. Then Meghan starts acting like, "Oh, you're right, Jane, remember H," and she starts putting her hand on his knee trying to play up the love story. Well, he wasn't having it. That's why his reaction was so vapid and empty and unresponsive. He was pissed. He did not want the whole narrative of the interview to go back to that night of the Oprah Winfrey interview where they talked about her living herself. He was pissed. They weren't supposed to bring that up. They were just supposed to talk about they got bad treatment online. But not specifically that, but of course. Meghan was also unaware of that, but of course she didn't care because the focus was on Meghan and everything is always on Meghan now. According to the Insight, Meghan was very, very particular about the lighting, about the staging, about where she sat, where the camera was. Everything was focused on Meghan. Meghan was not aware that they were going to film a segment with the parents, so again she's not in control of everything that happens during the interview, just like questions. But then they brought out the parents. And so they were joined with Harry and Meghan on the stage, and Meghan was not happy. She didn't realize they were going to be a part of the same interview. She thought they were being filmed separately, so Meghan was pissed. And you can tell Meghan's reaction when that lady was talking about her son, who unfortunately had unalived himself. Meghan's face was the most uncompassionate face that I've ever seen. Now, if you look at a photo of Meghan saying, "But nobody asked about me," and that little pity party face, and she's fake crying out of her left eye, and then you look at the expression that she gives a woman who's talking about her son who unifed himself, zero compassion. She looks like she's pissed that this woman is sitting next to her. How dare you be on the stage with me? Because again, according to an insider, Meghan thought they were the main attraction, they were the main event, the main story of this whole talk show. But it's a 2-hour show, so they have a lot of segments. They were just one of several segments, but Meghan thought they were top billing, they were going to be the main attraction. But without that B-roll footage that the executive producers wanted, it wasn't exciting. It was a complete nothing burger, so they were like, they cut a lot of the clips, and we got a very small segment that didn't really say anything. I mean, their program they've done for 2 years. If you go to the website, it's a nothing burger. It's a couple of links, a couple of PDFs, like there's nothing. So what were they supposed to do with that? There was nothing interesting. And so of course they tried to go down to the rabbit hole of, oh, Meghan, the poor victim, she tried to hurt herself. Oh wow, what happened to her? So again, it focused mostly on Meghan's victimhood and then a little bit on the parents. And I don't think they covered a lot of what they were actually trying to achieve. So again, the producers didn't get what they wanted, so they kind of changed the narrative of the whole interview, and Harry was not happy because it was the Meghan show, and Meghan, according to the insider, was really pissed off because Harry was not playing the doting husband. So if you look at the clip where she puts her hand and she's like H and she's trying to act like they're the greatest love story, he did not give her what she wanted because he did not want to go there. He did not want to talk about that event because it was taking the focus off the program, and you can tell Meghan was pissed because he wasn't pretending the way he normally pretends. So according to the insider, there was just a lot of drama. Meghan was not a happy camper. The body language was off. Even her interaction with the parents was very minimal. She basically didn't talk to anybody, and it was not a very positive experience. And then, after the show, Meghan blew up at the producers. She blew up at the producers, screaming at them, and according to an insider, I don't know if they'll ever do a show with them again. It was not a good experience. So that's the tea. Again, not verified, but yeah, like I said, Harry and Meghan, that was the first joint when they did and was talking about their program, which was, again, there wasn't really a lot of substance. I'm still a little confused as to why they're there. So that's the tea, is that it was not a great experience, and that Meghan threw a hissy fit yelling at producers. They weren't happy, but at the end of the day, CBS has the final say. So what do you guys think? I don't know. Leave me your comments, guys, down below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope to see y'all in the next video. Bye, folks.